Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the...
Good morning, and welcome to the midweek grind. For those that are new here, this is my first Wednesday show, and I'm feeling it. I added 2 more shows every week to Trailer Park Pundit, so I've been a busy girl, but I'm having fun staying updated every day for sure, because it's so nice to just ignore it. How is everybody this morning? Do me a favor and share this out. Let me know how my sound is, please. Take a breath. I gotta think about what I'm doing this morning. It's crazy out there. I thought I was losing my mind last night. I'm hanging out on Twitter and I see a tweet from Katie Helper saying, well, I asked Cornell why he moved to the Green Party. I'm like, what? Did Cornell jump ship and go to the Green Party? Because we've been talking a lot about that lately. And I'll be damned. It took me like 10 minutes to verify it, going back and forth from channel to channel. But then everybody just started popping up with it. Boom, 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 boom. So I got a lot on the deck. We're going to talk about that. I've got clips and I've got tweets and we're going to go through the whole thing. And then, of course, Trump got indicted, arrested, went to court yesterday. A lot of bullshit going on around that, too. We got a lot of crazy shit to talk about. This crazy cartoon that we live in just gets more insane by the fucking hour. And it's going to be a wild ride into 2024. And I think we all know it, right? If we survive it. Good morning, Uncle Warren. Good to see ya. Extra Bowl. And make sure you guys go over and follow his channel. Great shows. Catalytic Centaur. Good morning. Hi, Kim. Midnight Karma. Glad to see you're back. Peace, Dove. Ghost Start's in the house. Hey, guys. Welcome. You're not allowed to say guys anymore because that's not gender neutral, but I'm sorry. I grew up in the 70s and that's what we fucking said. But I could start saying y'all because I did spend a lot of time in the South and I do have the whole y'all thing down, but it's crazy. The West Coast says you guys and the South, says y'all. It's weird. It's a weird place. Hi from Vancouver, Janice Driver. Welcome. Thank you. We have Kate in Vancouver too. Please tell me you know Kate because Kate's the shit. Kate can't make it this morning because she has physical therapy. Oh, we'll miss you in the chat, Kate. I miss you. I really do miss you, Kate. Let's see. Popeye's hanging out over at the Rokfin with some quiet peeps that just want to hang out and not chat. Rumble. God, I had the worst time with Rumble last night, guys. It took me like 5 times to get it to actually upload the stream and get it ready. I don't know if their servers were crap or what, because it wasn't my problem. It was their problem. And you might notice in the Rokfin description, it says, Rokfin, please fix your description box. It's a crazy thing with the Rokfin description box. You're not allowed to use punctuation. It'll kick it out and tell you have an incorrect something in the field. And so you have to literally go through and delete every hyphen, every apostrophe, every fucking sign that you have. And I keep reading it like the box is still red. Until you get that box to turn green, you cannot upload on Rokfin. And it drives me crazy, drives me mad. Just crazy, stupid little nuanced stuff. Okay, guys, so this is Wednesday. Let's do it. Trailer Park Pundit. I love this. Was all AI generated. Dystopian trailer park. This is what I came up with. I've been playing around a little bit with the AI. I don't think it's as smart as media is trying to let on. And from a lot of people that I talk to, it's just a person behind there. It's really not this Sentinel AI that's just thinking up this shit, right? Plus we program it. Let's see. Did I shout out Kim? Good morning, Kim. Sorry if I missed you. Fair use. We are on YouTube this morning. So you know what that means. For one, we can't talk about real things. And for two, yeah, I will be commentating. I use a lot of third party stuff in my shows. I always have, and we've always taken shit for it. But what's the point? I want to sit here and show you what I'm seeing and talk about it. Now, how do I do that if I can't bring the freaking clip? Copyright is getting out of control. YouTube, you are the worst about it, and you know it. Loosen up, man. Loosen up. So, hey, if you are interested in anything I talk about today, please go do the research. I promise you, the information's out there. They don't bother to hide it. They just don't think that you'll care enough to go look. That's really what it comes down to. Hey, if you want to buy me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/trailer park. I love it. I love a good coffee. Thank you so much for those. I have had quite a few coffees bought for me this month. I got to say thank you so much. I love that you guys are using that site. Sometimes that site will just sit there for months and, it is what it is. And I really haven't built it up. Like you can go do wish lists and crazy shit over there, but I guess I should get more into that. PayPal. PayPal is the easiest way to help keep this show on the road. And you guys single-handedly have kept this show on the road. Without you, I would not be here, not just with your donations, but your encouragement. I just started out, for those that are new, I started out as a girl in a trailer park in 2015 whose adult children are working for minimum wage, have no prospect to buy a fucking house, even though they went to school. They have good fucking jobs. Two of my kids work in insurance, and one actually works for the dollar store. But you should be able to support a family, buy a house, do all those things, especially if you have two people working. And all of my kids have two people working in their households, and they are struggling. So I got mad, and I was a grandma with a mission because my first grandbaby had been born, and I looked around and said, oh shit, what kind of world are we leaving them? We're leaving them no future, no clean air, no clean water. What are we going to do? So I went and kicked the door in at my local DIMS. And from there, I just went to every level, state level, nationals. I've been to DNC conventions. I've ran inside the Democratic Party. I was an elected Dem for 4 years. I call it, I was behind enemy lines for 5 years with the Democratic Party. So I feel like for this election, I'm in a perfect space right now because I've lived it. I've been there. I've fought the parliamentary procedure with Robert's rules to try to get it changed for the working poor. And that is never going to happen when our stuff has been corporate captured. And that's what I'm here to explain. So we're going to talk about it. Let's get started with this day in history. This day in history. Of course, today's Flag Day. I forgot to put my flags out. A flag was chosen for the 13 colonies and now united as the nations. And let's see what else. I try to do these by year, but I guess I jumped the gun. Oh no, 1807, Napoleon's Russian victory. Well, that didn't last very long. Now, did it? Didn't do him well. Of course, he thought he had defeated them. Let's see, 1940. The German forces enter Paris and begin a 4-year occupation of the French city. Also, same year, same day, the first prisoners were transported by train into Auschwitz. Oh, you guys saw that video I showed last week. I think it was Joey B. Tunes of people literally posing at Auschwitz, these influencers like doing photo shoots. So nauseating. And also on this day, 1976, The Gong Show premiered. Who remembers The Gong Show? I remember The Gong Show. It was a little before my time, but I still think I saw reruns of it in the 70s when I was a kid. And there was a lot of birthdays today, guys. I didn't bring the birthdays because I would have been here for 10 minutes naming off birthdays. And there's so many. There's even people close to us in independent media whose birthdays is today. Happy birthday, Eve Bartlett. And let's see who else is out there. I know it's Donald Trump's birthday. And then there's some war hawk. So over it. So I have an update on Uncle Ted. Turns out Uncle Ted Epsteined himself in prison. Are we shocked? I'm not really shocked. I'm not shocked at all. But did he do it or did somebody else? That is the question, right? We'll never get the answer to that. Never at all. Okay, let's get started with Trump Biden. Yeah, we'll start with Trump Biden, then we'll go to third party. So thank you, Cold Fusion, for this awesome little meme. Running the country for dummies, a reference for the rest of us. And can he make it 5+ more years is the real question. Or can they dupe the public into thinking he can stay upright for 5 more years? And he's just like a president, but for stupid people. Yeah. that is the truth. Okay, so the tapes, guys. Do they have Biden on tape 17 times taking bribes? Bribing Biden? Never. So, this is some, I don't know who this is, but I like the intro. It's funny.
10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% for the big guy. I'm creepy and I'm sleepy. I swore that she was 18. Come on, Jack. Biden crime family. Neat. Creep. Thief.
Oh, yeah, it's the Benny Show.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. We often say we have a bombshell on this program or something's totally changed the game. I don't really know how to quantify this other than Joe Biden's probably going to prison. I mean that. Like, this is the end. This is really happening. This is go time right now. What just happened seconds ago, I mean, this is all coming in live right now. Seconds ago on the Senate floor is that Chuck Grassley changed the game forever. Chuck Grassley made us aware that he has recordings of Joe Biden committing bribery and espionage with the Ukrainians in order to get cash from Burisma in order to put Hunter Biden on that Burisma board. A scheme and a scandal that is in the category of things that will get you impeached and can put Joe Biden in jail for the rest of his old diseased syphilitic life. No more kids to sniff when you're in federal lockup. Yo, they have the tapes, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Grassley released this on his website. Chuck Grassley is, of course, the senator from Iowa. Grassley, FBI, redacted references to recordings in the Biden allegation shared with Congress. Wait, what? They have tapes of Joe Biden committing espionage with Ukraine? Grassley, Burisma executive who allegedly paid Joe Biden, has audio recordings of conversation with Joe and Hunter. Hot diggity damn.
You wish. Oh my God, they make me laugh. It's just as bad as the Blue MAGA and Trump's going to prison forever. For what? It's Grassley, guys. It's Grassley. I mean, these tapes, from what we're hearing, have been bouncing around for a couple of years. Oh, the delusion that anybody's going to prison over any of this shit. Don't get me wrong. They all need to go to prison, but the delusion that anybody is going to, I mean, Burmis, he categorized it great this morning. We are a banana republic and this is insane. So let's go a little deeper. This is, I want to say memeology probably.
When you think about it.
What I can say, and you've heard us say this over and over again, this is a president that respects the rule of law. This is a president that wants to make sure and has proven that to be in his actions to make sure that the Department of Justice is truly independent.
Wait a minute.
And this is a president that respects the rule of law.
News about the discovery of what appear to be records from the Obama-Biden administration at an office used by Mr. Biden before he became president, some of them classified.
This is a president that respects the rule of law.
Welcome back. We are following some breaking news. NBC News has learned from a person familiar with the investigation that aides to President Biden have now found a second batch of classified documents at a new location.
I'm honest.
We're going to begin this morning with the latest on that third batch of documents marked classified from the Obama administration, which was found in President Biden's Wilmington home.
Over the weekend, the White House said those additional documents were found in a room adjacent to the garage where a different set of classified documents were found last week.
But wait! There's more!
No, now it's only 15.
The foreign national possesses 2 audio recordings of phone calls between him and then Vice President Joe Biden. These recordings were allegedly kept as a sort of insurance policy for the foreign national in case that he got into a tight spot.
That sounds like insurance to me, right? I don't know. We're going to be waiting. Release the tapes. We want to hear the tapes, right? Do you think that Biden administration will investigate Biden? I mean, that's what it comes down to. So last night, when asked for comment as Joe shuffled by in a zombie state, this is what he had to say.
Are there tapes that you accepted bribes, President Biden? Is that true?
Would you comment on the arrest of the former president, sir?
No, I will not. And that shit-eaten grin, he looked like the old dude from, it's not Children of the Corn, it's Psycho, right? Or no, it wasn't Psycho. It was, oh God, it's so scary. Anyways, that look to me, you guys know I love to read body language. That look was, do you think I'm fucking stupid enough to get caught on tape? I think that you think you're not stupid enough to get caught on tape, but Poltergeist, thank you, Uncle Warren. You get the silver dollar today. Yeah, if he thinks he's too smart to get caught on tape, but he's so out of the loop when it comes to technology and just life in general. I'm sure that this guy got some insurance, and but it doesn't matter. We have a whole Hunter Biden freaking laptop that nobody gives two shits about and hasn't for years. They're all corrupt. They all scratch each other's back. And these people that think that Trump's going to jail, they're just as bad. I mean, we'll get to the Trump section, but the elites do not put the elites in jail. And if they do, and then it's intentionally a sacrificial lamb like Epstein was. That's the way I see it. So really, I think what they're trying to do is get some leverage on Trump to say, look, we're going to prosecute you federally, and we probably can get you because of where we're going to hold the trial at. But we won't do that if you decide not to run. I think shadier shit's happen. Just my thought. Okay, so to finish out the Biden section, please tell me you guys saw this. Such great decorum from the White House, because they're the ones always screaming about decorum. But yeah, breaking news: White House speaks out on topless transgender activists at the Pride event. This was at the White House. A photo shoot happened, a topless photo shoot happened, and in the background, of course, you can absolutely see the White House. This is the White House lawn. I don't know if it's the back lawn, the west lawn, the 50th lawn. I don't know what lawn it was, but it was a party they were invited to. So let's I think this is another memeology. Let's hear from this. Honor and decency to the White House.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life.
Yeah.
Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You're understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. Some of the bravest, the most inspiring people I've ever known.
You're welcome.
Good folks.
Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Fans' rights are human rights.
The look on his face was so confused.
Day news.
Are we topless at the White House?
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
I gotta agree, we are completely fucked. But there you are, decency and decorum coming back to the White House. And you guys thought it was trashy under Trump. No, not at all. But hey, it's very inclusive. So there you are. So we're gonna do a little break between the the presidential nightmares. And yeah, let's look at Jake Tapper, the other nightmare, the CNN nightmare. This guy has just, I don't know. Didn't he get, yeah. Let's watch it. Let's just watch it. This was Jake Tapper, I want to say, yesterday or the day before. Memeology killing it this morning.
National security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us, let's remember what this case
whatever this
is
spectacle
about. Let's remember
is.
what this indictment charges. Again, Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges that Donald Trump is facing right now. We don't have to go into each one.
Sure.
But Ellie, if you could basically detail what are the allegations here? We have counts 1 to 31. I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already.
Oh gosh, but it wasn't a spectacle at all when they wanted him on for a town hall so that way they could boost their ratings higher than they've been in 5 years. It's so insane. These are the ones who refused to cover any speech that Bernie Sanders gave and would focus on Trump's empty podium. But now they don't want to profile Trump. They don't want to elevate anything he's saying. And whatever is going on in that cafe, we're too stupid to figure out it's a birthday party. Like, what the hell was that? Yes, Shelley. It is a big freaking retarded cartoon. And I'm sorry, I say that word. Cancel me. Let's see. This is AOC. Speaking of canceling, AOC says sometimes platforming is necessary, deplatforming, but now she is also saying CNN shouldn't cover the Trump stuff. Remember, she was throwing a fit like a month ago. How dare CNN give Trump a town hall? So this is what she had to say yesterday.
We do have now some of the sound, as I told you. We're not, and the audience, we're not carrying his remarks live because, frankly, he says a lot of things that are not true and sometimes potentially dangerous. But we do have some, a small portion, so you can get a sense of his state of mind and how he might be framing his defense. I want to get your reaction to it. We're going to start, of course, I just want to note, he begins this clip we're about to show you by making unfounded claims about the charges against him, untrue and unfounded claims about the charges against him, and the people he thinks are behind it. So I just want to preface it by saying that, and then at the end of the clip, you're going to hear him frame what could actually be part of his defense. So here's a little clip.
I'm glad we didn't have to listen to the little clip, but it's just so disgusting, the hypocrisy of this, Jake Tapper, he's not going to cover it. I'm not going to cover it. And, the allegations that he makes about the charges, which allegations is another word for charge, right? Oh, it's so insane. Virtue signaling constantly. Yes, he's dangerous. He is dangerous. The blue MAGA derangement is at a new fucking level, guys. I know you guys have seen it if you're on any social media. It is insane. It's like a battle of the megas. Like you'll see something trending, right? Joe Biden. You go look at it, and it's just them fighting back and forth, meme after meme. And here, I see your meme, and I counter it with this meme. And Trump's going to jail, and Biden's going to jail, and like Hunter's laptop and Hunter smoking crack will be in the middle of it. It's so insane. It's so insane. This will never happen. I don't know who posted this, but this will never happen. But could you imagine if they had to share a cell? That would be funny. That would be hilarious. Let's put them in the same cell. And we'll call it a battle royale. Well, we know who would win that, right? We do. We definitely do. Okay, so more bad news for Trump. A federal judge has allowed E. Jean Carroll to amend her defamation lawsuit against Donald Trump to include the attacks he made against her during the last month's CNN town hall. Bad news for Trump. We knew that was coming. I reported it to you like the day after the town hall that she went to her lawyer and was like, now I'm going to get you for the things you said on national TV about me. Let's see. Dear Democrats, nobody believes Russia. Nobody believes the Ukraine call impeachment, believes the Ukraine call impeached. Nobody believes that other impeachment, hoo-ha's, whatever that was. Nobody believes Stormy Daniels. Nobody believes E. Jean Carroll. Nobody believes the Jack Smith debacle. Nobody believes Democrats like to interfere with elections, and the DOJ and the FBI will interfere and help them again. Hashtag witch hunt in action again. Right? So this is obviously a political witch hunt. You guys know I'm not a huge... They would end up best friends. Kim, that's hilarious. They would end up best friends. You know, yeah, everybody believes the Democrats like to interfere with elections, and the DOJ and the FBI will interfere and help them. This is a witch hunt. Is it a witch hunt? Is it a witch hunt? I think it's a political witch hunt. Is the stuff against Biden? I mean, okay, we're going after Trump for the classified documents bullshit. They all do it. They all fuck around with classified documents. They all take them home. They all pass them out to their friends. They've all been caught doing it. I'm sure Obama did it too, and they just didn't bother saying anything about it. So I just the hypocrisy of this. But is there plenty of stuff that you could have prosecuted Trump on that you could have made stick? Hell yes. Is there for all of them? Hell yes. But yet again, the elite oligarchs do not prosecute and punish the other oligarchs. They don't. They don't. Oh, I'm glad I can help out, Rad Angel. You know, anytime you can not Epstein yourself at work is a good day, but I understand the want to. I do. I just can't. I can't even more. I'm so glad that you guys gave me this job and I don't have to go work for the frickin' man anymore. I'm not good at it. I have my own thoughts and I'm too strong-willed. It just doesn't work well. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is United Spot. Okay, United Spot killed it on this one, guys. Let's see if I can go back and then can I go forward? Okay, yeah. United Spot. They nailed it.
All rise for Judge Merrick Guy. Welcome everyone to is this impeachment court? Nope. Is this impeachment court number 2? Nope. Okay, is it grab 'em by the meow court? No. Is this E. Jean Carroll court? No. Okay, is this Stormy Daniels court? No. Is this Russia court? No. Okay, is this January 6th court? No. Is this the Mueller investigation report court? No. Wait a minute. Is this the show me your taxes court? Nope. Is it the we almost got him again court? Nope. Well, what court is this? Anyone? It's, you know what, I have no idea what court this is. Yeah, I have no idea. Me either. Well, I need to know what court this is. What difference does it make? He's guilty. I know, but here it is. It's classified document court. Duh! Hey, I got chocolate chip documents in my garage. I got classified documents too. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I got some too. Yeah, so do I. Has the jury reached a decision? Yes. Will the jury find Donald Trump guilty of everything? Donald Trump? Yeah? I hereby sentence you to life in prison. For what? I don't know. This ain't got nothing to do with politics. Not a joke.
Nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. That's exactly what it is. Rad Angel says entitled customers. Yes, not just entitled customers, but bosses that think they own you. I've had some pretty extreme, crazy bosses that literally think they own you when you're off the clock. I had one that would send me 200 miles away to go stay at her house by myself to do. It was insane. It was just insane. They just think, oh, I pay you minimum wage, so you have to do everything I tell you. Zelensky. So it looks like and acts like a corporate fascist. It most likely is a corporate fascists. So Zelensky rules over a nation that allows its military to wear Nazi patches, ties civilians to lampposts with plastic wrap for public humiliation, invites Western corporations to come buy pieces of his nation, allows a website to exist that publishes the names and contact information of enemies of the state, many of whom happen to be journalists who print the truth. Anyone who thinks this sounds like fighting for freedom and democracy needs some serious deprogramming. Here, here. It is straight up programming. Did you guys see? I didn't bring it just because it was so awful. There was a clip I saw a couple days ago going around Twitter, and it was some Ukrainian soldiers in a bombed out house with women's clothing over their camouflage, acting like they were civilians. And it's a complete violation of the fucking Geneva Convention. It's so insane. And nobody said a word about it. No, I saw no mainstream media reporting on it. I saw, not even Fox. Not even Fox was talking about it. It was disgusting. Okay, guys, I promised I was going to bring you an update on the workers' strike back. I finally went and read the email from Shama. And so, yes, this week we have University of Washington and Seattle workers striking, 2,400 workers. And the big one was the dock workers. So let's see, the academic workers revolt has now spread to the University of Washington and Seattle, including 2,400 workers went on strike today, including postdoctoral workers and postdocs and research scientists. So that's good to know that the universities are starting to rise up a little bit. The workers represented by the UAW 4121 are demanding living wages and a 30% raise for the research scientists and engineers, and 72,000 starting wage for postdoctorants. For fighting diseases to space exploration to addressing the threat of climate change. The research at the University of Washington comes from thousands of academic workers putting in long hours. That was just the beginning of the email. I have the whole email here. Let me see. She goes on to talk about the dock workers and the UPS handlers. There's a lot of people striking, a lot. And of course, we stand with them. And with the movement that we see with Cornel West and the Green Party and the movement for a People's Party and who they're, coalition with, I think we're going to see some movement on the workers' strike back front. I really do. And we've said it all along. Oz and I have said it. I have said it since 2016. The only power we have is general strike, is public strike, to shut down their means of filling their coffers in their pockets. And that's the only time they listen, is when we do that. And it's going to hurt us. There's reports that there isn't anything coming in off the West Coast. I look, because like the coast is right there for me, but there's nothing coming in and being unloaded anywhere on the West Coast, which is going to make supply chains even worse. But they're already bad. They're bad at my local stores and have been for a long time. I'm willing to take that hit for workers to leverage to get higher wages. Because when the unions get higher wages, the minimum wage workers end up with higher wages ultimately. Call it fucking Reaganomics, but that's how they work it. Yeah, for sure. And so, yeah, let's talk third party since we're here. Fuck you for voting third party. Me, I'll fucking do it again. You're damn right I'll do it again. I've done it the last 2 elections and I plan on doing it this time. Stop telling yourself you can fix him. It's been this way for a long time and he doesn't intend to change. Save yourself instead. Get out while there's still time. Democrats, this is a message to you. Yes, you are in a very abusive relationship, especially if you're the working poor and you're making under, I don't care, $50,000 a year. The Democrats are not your friends. $100,000 a year, the Democrats aren't your friends. But if you're making less than $25,000 or $23,000 a year, the Democrats are hurting you. They're taking money directly out of your pockets, and you need to stop voting for them. So that's what I learned working for the Democrats all the years. I was one of those just uneducated. I was doing my part every 4 years when the election came around, and I voted Democrat. And I didn't know till I went and got involved in local politics what I was doing. I was voting against myself. When I voted for Clinton, I voted to not give myself an education, but to kick my ass off welfare and make me go to school or make me go to work with 3 small kids under the age of 5. My kids grew up in fucking daycare. They resented it. They resent me to this day because they grew up in daycare. Drop them off at 6 o'clock in the morning, pick them up at 6 o'clock at night. I mean, every day for years, that's what they had. And I don't blame them. I would have loved to have spent more time with my kids, but I had to work a minimum wage job full fucking time plus to be able to even barely scrape and keep a roof over my head. There was no aid or help. And I could have gone $50,000 in debt for an education. And I did go back to school, but I was bartending. So I get out of work at 2 o'clock in the morning. My first class was at 8 a.m. I would get 2-3 hours of sleep. I'd be at school and then I'd start all over and go to work. I remember being at the bar and literally doing calculus homework with the people drinking at the bar. Not everybody who sits on the other side of the bar is dumb. I got a lot of help from those people. But after I think I did a semester and a half like that, I just couldn't keep up. I couldn't, running, dropping the kids off. They all had extracurricular stuff. I just couldn't do it anymore. So there you go. That's what I was left with. But that's what I got for voting for Bill Clinton. Guys, guess what I found? I found my Nick Braun and Nate breakup letter. I thought I'd bring it to you. Okay, so as you guys know, I left. Well, I was still in the Democratic Party in 2017, but I was working with. I was the Washington State lead for Draft Bernie, and I had really good friends on the Draft Bernie, which became the Movement for the People's Party committees, their steering committees. And we all went to the People's Summit in 2017. And of course, we screamed at Bernie, and we begged him to come join us. You have the momentum right now to leave the Democratic Party and start something fresh. This country needs a third party that is viable more than we could ever say. And he just blew us off. He didn't even respond. So anyways, about 2 months after I got back from the People's Summit, I was busy working behind the scenes with quite a few parties. So I was working the Progressive Independent Party, which I had started working in 2016. I was working the Party for Us. I was working, of course, Draft Bernie, Our Revolution, the Movement for a People's Party, all of those. I even have an Our Revolution chapter still. Like I have the chapter numbers and whatnot. But we all know what happened to them. PAC money. Thank you, Jeff Weaver. And so every time I would end up having to break up with these guys. So, once I'd find out that they, it was all about ego or there was no, infrastructure there. They had no clear path to the ballot. They didn't even know how to get to the ballot. Infighting, there's always so much shit that goes on behind the scenes in organizing. So we decided to break off because we felt like Draft Bernie, the Movement for a People's Party, wasn't getting us where we needed fast enough, right? It was kind of like, oh, well, it'll rise up organically. And so this was the letter. It says to Nick Braun and field team from Chanda-Masta, and I should have blocked out the name. Sorry, guys. Anyways, to the Draft Bernie steering committee and team, effective today, July 1st, 2017, we, the undersigned, resign from our involvement in the Draft Bernie for a People's Party. After much deliberation, coupled with the consideration of our current activism commitments, we don't feel that serving as members of Draft Bernie volunteer effort is the best use of our time nor skill set with regards to drafting Bernie to build a people's party. Hence, we are departing to embark upon a more conclusive course of action that will allow us to still fight for and bring awareness to issues. We appreciate the experience of working with each of you and wish you continued luck. So that was just one of the breakup letters. That was the easy breakup letter. The local breakup letter that I had to write for my committee when I pulled it outside of the Democratic Party, that one, combo was early today, guys. That one was like 4 pages, and we laid out everything that the Democrats had done to us. But sometimes in these, it doesn't do you any good to go and start talking about all the reasons why you left, right? Oh, there was this allegation or this mismanagement. You start getting in the mud. So you try to keep them, just sweet and to the point. Right? And I only bring that because I think that's what Cornell's doing too. So a few of these clips in this series I have coming up, we're going to talk Cornel West. We're going to talk Green Party. I had before he made his announcement on Katie Halper last night. So if you hadn't heard, Cornel West announced on Katie Halper that he's no longer running under the Movement for a People's Party. He is moving over to seek the Green Party nominee. Now, we all know the Greens played dirty. Chad Wilson, what's up? We all know that Jill Stein, Howie Hawkins, even Chris Hedges, they have a lot to say when it comes to the Green Party. So many of us were like, why the hell didn't he just run as the Green Party, right? And I think I brought a clip of what he says is why he originally didn't. But let's start out with this Sabby Sabs clip of talking about third parties. Frickin', if you're not following Sabby Sabs, you're losing out, because she really does a great job of going deep into, an issue and giving you her opinion straight up. And I appreciate that.
Colors who are struggling every day and month to put food on the table and are hardly doing it, while the 1% is simply tied to their quests for the luxurious life. American democracy not just is at stake, the whole planet, Brother Jake. You know that, man, with fossil fuels. And look at the debt ceiling agreement. We can make a deal with Brother Manchin in terms of his pipeline that will do in not just working class people's spaces, but ecological collapse given what's going on the East Coast. But we can't make a deal with him in terms of voting rights in regard to the filibuster. That's Brother Biden. We need something better. Where's the best of the country?
Yeah.
Not just the working people here, but around the world. Because the militarism abroad is something that I'm deeply concerned about, be it in Latin America, be it in Africa, be it in the Middle East.
So I hear you, but these elections often do come down to a binary choice between the Democrat and the Republican.
And why is that? Why is that, Jake? Why does it usually just come down to two different options? Because we don't have a true democracy in this country. If we did, third party can't. Why do you even have to fight to get on the ballot? Who came up with this rule? Think about this, guys. Let's really think about this. Why do you have to collect signatures to get on a ballot? If you're running, you're running with this party, you should be able to be on there.
Yeah, and there's lots of different reasons for that, right? That's so they can keep the vermin supremes out of the mix. Jim says, is the Green Party on the ballot in all states? No. I want to say that in, I don't know 2020, because 2020 was so crazy, but 2016, I want to say they were in 42 states straight up on the ballot, and some had like crazy primary type, But at the end of the day, most of the time, the Green Party does make it to the final presidential ballot. I know I voted Green Party the last 2 times around. Howie Hawkins last time, I'm not too proud of it, but hey, I wasn't going to vote for fucking Biden. So Howie Hawkins, I feel like was a lesser evil. And I've been taught my whole life to vote for lesser evils. But when it comes to Howie Hawkins, you know what? I'm friends with Howie Hawkins on Facebook, I think. Am I? Oh my God, I am. I still am. We have 138 mutual friends. That's freaking hilarious. The Green Party, they got some serious problems, and we've done a lot of in-depth coverage. I've done a couple of specials with Chad Wilson. You can go find them on the Rokfin or probably in the old YouTubes. And he ran as a presidential candidate in the 2020 as a Green Party. And I guess that their convention was just a setup. The whole thing, it wasn't a fair process through and through. And a lot of people have said that Howie's got to go. And what's crazy is I remember the Green Party when it was people like David Keith Cobb and, it was before Jill Stein. What's her name? I voted for the Green Party in 2012, too. I even have an old shirt from it. And that was, what's her name? Cheryl. Somebody will tell me who ran in 2012 with Jill Stein. They also got arrested at the DNC in Philadelphia together, I want to say. Anyways, there used to be some really good people inside the Green Party that were in control of it. But once we saw the Howie Hawkins kind of take over, it became corporatist. He's all pro-vax. He's all pro-war. I mean, it's pretty gross what he has turned that party into. And a lot of people don't take the Green Party serious anymore. They're very cliquey. Can I tell you, they're very cliquey. I went to Seattle once. You know, we did the Green Party locally here where I am, but we went into Seattle for a big coalition meeting, and we invited fucking everybody. It was the craziest meeting downtown Seattle. And the Green Party originals were there, and they were almost like this hierarchy of like the old leaders. Like, it was so crazy. Like, so yeah, they're very cliquey, and I find that they're not very welcoming. They weren't welcome. They actually, the Greens had a bylaw that said you could not be in the Green Party if you were an elected member or a outward member of another party, say the Democratic Party. And that was in 2016. And we were screaming at the Greens, change your bylaw. What the fuck? Change your bylaw. There's many of us that, because Bernie Sanders is still hanging out inside the Democratic Party, who are having to work with the Dems, but we don't think the Dems are where it's at. We would love to see a third party rise up, and we couldn't do it. And it wasn't because the Democrats said, no, you can't be in somebody else's party. Democrats can give two shits. It was the Greens that were like, nope, you can't come to our party if you're part of another party. That was one of the big turning off points for me. But I still campaigned for Jill Stein. I even applied for a job with Jill Stein's campaign in 2016. And I didn't campaign for Howie. I can tell you that. I really didn't. At that point, at the end of the 2020 election, I think we were all just done for, right? I sat there and thought, am I even going to cast a vote? Is this going to be the first election where I have a big zero on my voting registration that I didn't participate? I was like, no, I'm going to actually do it. And I'll vote Green Party. And why did I do it? Because I wanted to give the support to the Green Party, not to Howie Hawkins, but to a third party, so there, I just want to see that number go up for a Green Party to become viable, right? Which we know that's not probably going to happen, but we'll talk about what's going to happen under Cornell. So I got this from Due Dissidents. I got this before the announcement, actually. So this is them talking about Howie Hawkins. So let's hear this.
Cornel West has obviously opted to run for president on the People's Party ticket, and a lot of people thought, well, why couldn't he have just run as a Green because they already have ballot access? Wouldn't this be so much easier? And the answer is, to a large extent, obviously, yes, it would be. However, here is the standard bearer currently for the Green Party, 2020 Green Party nominee Howie Hawkins, who fared absolutely miserably in the 2020 race. Here's a tweet of his from a few days ago that went somewhat viral because now that the Green Party's in the conversation, they're being vetted a little more seriously. He puts up this tweet. Some in the peace movement call for a ceasefire and negotiations by U.S.-led Western imperialists with Russian imperialists to carve up Ukraine between them and call it peace. Stop pressuring Ukraine to accept partition. Sign this petition. So he literally links to a petition discouraging Ukraine to agree to peace talks. This is the Green Party standard bearer? This was the former Green Party nominee? This is the organization that we're supposed to lend some credibility to as a left movement? You can't even get this right? The Greens are to the right of many Republicans on this issue if this guy represents them. Like, if this guy is not expelled from the party at this point, if this guy is not driven out of town for this, then how can the Greens, Russell, I don't know if you want to get your sound drop ready again, but how can you not tell the Greens, you have it?
Yep.
Good.
I love you, but you are not serious people.
What the fuck kind of left-wing organization has someone as prominent as Howie Hawkins is within that organization fire off a tweet literally passing around a petition to discourage peace talks between Russia and Ukraine?
This is insane. From the Green Party, the anti-nuke party, You think they would be on the very front line of being anti-war? They were anti-war in 2016. I don't know what changed in 2020 when Howie Hawkins took over. And I see a lot of you in the chat saying F Howie Hawkins, he's the worst green ever. He is. It's just like Manchin and Cinema being inside the Democratic Party. They are not fucking Democrats, but they pretend that they are, right? So that corporate money can come into the Democratic side of the party. And I feel like Howie's that way too, right? No matter what you do, eventually down the road, you end up saying you're ashamed that you voted for any of these candidates, right? I'm ashamed I voted for Howie Hawkins, but I'm not ashamed that I voted for the Green Party. If the Green Party turns it around. Now let's talk about the Green Party turning around. Can they turn it around now that they've got Cornell coming in? So let's hear from Katie. I grabbed this tweet. This is just a little clip, and then crazy due dissidents literally just showed up on my deck. I didn't put it there. Oz, did you put it there? I don't think Oz put it there. I don't know where it came from, but it's so weird. Okay, so this is Katie last night. What made you decide to shift from the MPP to the Green Party, and why didn't you run with the Greens originally? At Katie Helper asked at Cornell West, and exciting changes in his presidential runs on the special stream marathon to help our comrade. And so I watched that whole hour interview. It was kind of a snooze fest in some places, but I always enjoy what Cornell has to say.
And what made you decide to shift from the MPP to the Greens, and why didn't you run with the Greens originally?
Well, one, his brother Nick and the others were kind enough to extend the invitation to me. Right. Very much so. And I still give them credit for that. We had a magnificent launching and so on. But then you had all of the baggage carried and the challenge of execution institutionally and so on. And when I did hear, mediated through my dear brother Chris Hedges, from certain individuals in the Green Party who had their own invitation for the nomination, I said, well, if in fact there's a good chance that I'll be able to have much broader infrastructure, institutional capacity, and make sure that there's no distractions in terms of any kinds of struggles or tensions or various kinds of stigmas associated with parties and persons, it's very important that I'm able to keep the focus where it belongs.
And also,
okay, so we're going to go deeper into that here in a second. It's not about who's real to your face. It's about who stays loyal behind your back. And I have so many amazing, loyal people that come and hang out with me every day. You guys are the best. But okay, let's get into the actual what he had to say about. There's so much that he said about that. I listened to 2 full Cornell interviews yesterday, and his biggest message for me that I appreciate is the Gilded Age is over. And I appreciate that he's going to be out there saying that. But he said in that clip with Katie, she said, what changed it? And he said, my brother Chris reached out to me and said that there was some invites from the Green Party. Now, and when I watched another earlier one where they asked him, and he said, look, Nick asked me. He invited me to run with MPP. Nobody else had invited me. The Greens had invited me, which makes me wonder what the hell was going on in back rooms at the Green Party, guys. Jill Stein, Chris Hedges, and Cornell West always were like this threesome. You throw Shama Sawan in there. Of course, they had the movement of the 99% in 2016. Great fucking movement. I love what all 4 of them were fighting for, and how they parse it, how they're coming at it. But they didn't come together and talk at all about Cornell running under the Movement for a People's Party. Or if they did they not know the baggage and drama that Nick had going on? Which one do you guys think it is? Because I can't put my finger on what it was. Was there a lack of communication between the 4 of them? Or was there this, they didn't realize how bad MPP was going to get slapped down by independent media? I'm not sure yet, but this is the one that just showed up on my deck. I guess due dissidents, I give them their due dissidents because they just showed up on my deck. Let's listen.
Dissidents, major breaking news, major breaking news. Russell, what do we have?
North Korean defector Yeonmi Park is going to be running in the Libertarian Party primary, which is a shocker.
Yeah, that is a shocker if it's true, but that is not the news we were intending to break. If you notice, we're not wearing yellow or gold for libertarianism. We are wearing green for this segment because Cornel West has just broken some major news on Katie Halper's show. Let's take a look.
I wanted to ask you, of course, about your presidential run. And there's some exciting news, I believe. So last week, Chris Hedges, friend of the show, Chris Hedges, said during an event for Workers Strike Back, which was organized by Chanda-Masta, he said that he wanted you to run as a Green Party candidate. And you, of course, when you announced you were with the Movement for the People's Party, the MPP. Do you have an update about this?
Oh, yes. No, that process is very much in movement, and I look forward to it. You know, I'll always have gratitude for the tremendous work of the volunteers of the People's Party and so forth. But there was so much going on internally, and therefore we had to be able to keep the focus where it belongs. And so I am still deeply committed to a broad coalitional sensibility and a united front. And so I invite variety of different organizations, and that includes the People's Party. But I'm certainly moving in the not just toward, but want to look forward to being a part of the nomination process of the Green Party. And I look forward to being able to already be in very rich conversation with my dear brother Barack and my dear sister Stein, sister Jill, and brother Ajamu, who I have great love and respect for. So that's true. That is new. And which means when it comes to infrastructure and institution, it's much broader and deeper. Access to the ballot, much broader. But in the end, as you know, any candidacy to run the empire in order to dismantle the empire has to be part of a movement. So it's really a moment in a much larger movement, domestic as well as international, to keep the focus on precious poor and precious working people wherever they are.
So it's going to be an MPP and Green Party run? Or
no, it would be Green Party being having the major aegis.
Okay.
And then an openness to a variety of other parties, which is including, of course, People's Party, but a whole host of other organizations as well. So in this sense, it's going to be under the authority of the Green Party that has its nomination process. So I wouldn't candidate until I go through that process. But what we're doing is we're keeping the focus on what the campaign keeps the focus on, which is the precious and priceless poor and working.
Okay, guys. So I see a lot of your dingo. I'm gonna get to your guys' questions. So Nick's accusers texted him like she was dating him, and then other messages were brought to light showing how she was preemptively planning to throw him under the bus. As you know, I know Nick, right? I've reached out to Nick to try to see if he'll come talk to us about it. I don't know if I believe any of that crap. That shit goes on in organizing. I've seen it so many times. I saw the Jordan Charlton thing going down. Lollipop crumbs, and I mean, that shit happens, and you got to be careful, man. I mean, like for some of us, we love each other, we want to hug each other, but we're just like we're very standoffish just because that stupid shit gets misconstrued and put out there. My problem with the MMP, and I don't have a problem personally with Nick. I mean, I think he's ego driven. I think he likes the fact that he's the face of the MPP and that he gets on shows like Jimmy Dore and whatnot. But whatever, I'm not going to fault him. Most of the people in this area, in this space, are egomaniacs. My problem was there was not the organizing structure inside of MPP that would be needed to bring a broad coalition together. When you start writing a shit ton of bylaws and rules for your organization, all you're doing is making sure that huge portions of who you say you want to coalesce with are not allowed to come in. And that's what we saw with the Green Party. And I'm afraid we're going to see that again with the Green Party. And so my question to Chris Hedges, Shama Sawant, Ajama Abraku, who I've been friends with for a long, long time too. What is your guys' plan for after what happens after the general election when you guys know you don't have a snowball's chance in hell. We're not going to be delusional here and pretend like a third party is just going to rise up and tidal wave over the duopoly, because that's never going to happen. It's corporate owned and corporate captured. And the only way it would ever happen is if Green Party got corporate captured, right? Which, we'll see about that. We'll talk about that more with RFK Jr. and the Dems. But what is your plan to harness that energy and steer it into a productive means for the working class? Because I saw the biggest movement on the ground in 2016 that probably existed since the fucking 60s. And it was drove right into a wall. It was steered right back into the Democratic Party. It wasn't foreseen that, hey, we need to engage these people that we have woke up and begged to get out on the streets and fight. We fell off in chunks. Some went to Our Revolution, and Our Revolution, I think, was an afterthought. People went to Bernie like, hey, what are you going to do with all these people that love you now? And they started Our Revolution, which ended up taking disgusting PAC money. And I don't know. I'm not going to speculate about the money inside MPP. I've never seen their financials. I know they make a ton of money, whatever. That is, the way that party is structured. He doesn't have to show a lot of it, from what I understand. So, I'm not going to speculate. A lot of people are speculating there's problems with the finances, and maybe there is. I can tell you that Nick's dad is a truly fucking nice guy. Like, guys, he's a super nice guy. I mean, they're both are. And when you meet Nick in person, he's very quiet. He's very meek. He holds his chin up high and comes and stands out there with all of us haters for, Assange events and anti-war events. And I've seen him at probably every event. I'm not going to talk shit about something I don't know about. I don't know about the finances in MPP. I hear a lot of rumblings about it, but I don't. Our Revolution didn't take PAC money. It was PAC. Yeah, PAC. For sure. And Nina knew that. They knew that. That's when I left Our Revolution and broke up with them. It was because they knew they were taking corporate money. How was that going to change us from anything else other than the Dems were doing? I didn't see how becoming another Dem subcommittee, which is what Our Revolution is, was going to do us any fucking good. And so my question is, what are they going to do with this energy? You want to get us all riled up. You want to get us on the ground. We don't have any debates. You want to get us out in the streets to get people fired up to come support Cornel West, which is great because he'll be bringing a lot of good conversations up right in the spaces that he is in. But what are you going to do with that energy? What are you going to turn it into? How are you going to make it, a movement that is meaningful, that accomplishes shit after it's all said and done? Or is this just for show and, for the cartoon for the next year and a half? I hope it's not. I really hope they have an idea. So Cornel West has a compelling message. Instead of running a third-party campaign most voters won't notice, he should grab the spotlight, like by challenging Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination. Jacobin, you're drunk. Go home. Go home, Jacobin. You're fucked up. And this is what Revolutionary Blackout Network had to say about that. Dr. Cornel West will be joining me tonight at RBN today at 3. So that's Eastern time. So that's soon. What, like in an hour, guys? And I've posed some questions. I've got questions, definitely. So Green Party unity ticket discussion, a very exciting times for third-party activists. Is it exciting times for third-party activists? I don't want to get sucked into wastefulness, right? Do nothing, right? I'll go out there and I'll make campaign signs and I'll stand and I'll wave and I'll canvass and I'll door knock, and the Green Party will get 6%. And what'll be the point? What will be the point? So this is what Pasta tweeted out yesterday, and I had forgot about this. You guys might not have remembered Cornell's stance during the COVID years. This is him interviewing Fauci. I remember this.
Problem. What a blessing to just be in conversation with you, though, brother. What a great exemplar of integrity, honesty, decency you have been over your 79 years on the globe.
Okay, so I sent that clip to RBN this morning and said, please ask him about this clip. I said, please ask him about this and his stance on the authoritarian measures that were and are continued to be used against us. Does he understand the stranglehold Big Pharma has on the world? Because this doesn't look like it. Keep up the great work. Big fan. Thanks. And this does not look like Cornell understands that Big Pharma had control of us and all of the authoritarian measures that were rolled out on it. So I do hope that RBN puts him on the spot and asks him that question tonight. Today. I will be watching. Silly to call it a unit ticket when they threw People's Party under the bus. That's my question. So what do you think all these people for the last 2-3 weeks that have just been Cornell, MPP are going to just be like, oh, okay, now we're Green Party? You don't think there's going to be some bitterness there? Now, I do know that these four, when I say these four, I'm saying Cornell West, Jill Stein, Chris Hedges, and John Barack, all of these leaders, they know how to build a coalition. They do. They did it in 2016. I watched them. I was at a huge release party in Seattle with Shama for the movement of the 99. So the movement of the 99, I want to say launched in about May of 2016. And what that campaign was about was it was a push to ask Bernie to run independent, right? Remember? Please, Bernie, go independent. If they don't give it to you in July, let's go independent. We have the momentum. We can do it. He's got Shama in his ear. He's got Hedges in his ear. And he's saying, no, I don't want to be Ralph Nader. I don't want to be Ralph Nader. So the movement for the 99 moved into the convention in 2016 and morphed into the campaign for Jill Stein and the Green Party, basically. But not before Jill Stein offered the head of the fucking ticket to Bernie Sanders, who could have just denounced being a Dem, even though he wasn't a Dem. I'm an independent. He could have just gone and ran as head of the Green Party ticket. They would have just handed it to him. He didn't have to go through the primary or win the nominee. They were going to hand it to him. She would have been the vice president. And Bernie turned it down. So they know how to build a coalition. I know this group knows how to build a coalition. I've seen it on the ground, up close, up front. And let me tell you, all of those speakers fire you up. I've seen all of them live give speeches, every single one of them. If you are working class struggling, they hit right to the heart of the issues and they fire you up. So let's hope that they're thinking about this. I worry, though. I worry. So many of them bought into the COVID authoritarian measures. They really did. They really did. Hedges, Cornell, I don't know. She sure did, Chanda. I know she did. And they just blew her off. So I'm hoping they're thinking ahead. What are we going to do with this? Because I have a feeling they can get a lot of energy behind Cornell. There's a lot of us that are awake and understand there's a problem with politics. But what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? They better move it into general strikes is what I got to say. That's what I got to say. I'm going to save that one for tomorrow because I got Pasta on tomorrow. We'll talk to Pasta about Pasta tomorrow. How about that? Pasta was on early today, guys. Yeah, Convo Couch already was up early. I was listening to him. We've had some great streams this morning. What have I listened to? I listened to Heartlands. Pasta was on Heartlands this morning. Burmis. Pasta was on Burmis yesterday. Pasta's everywhere, damn it. Okay, guys, bad news if you live in Paris. The Parisians must live with rats, says the mayor. Around 6 million of the rodents are estimated to live in the city of lights. And its new mayor, what is that, Anne Hidalgo, plans to form a committee to explore whether citizens in the French capital should learn to just live alongside the rats in a peaceful coexistence rather than attempting to exterminate the vermin, a city official said last week. With guidance from the mayor, we have decided to form a committee on the question of cohabitation. Oh my gosh. So the newly announced policy represents a significant departure from previous measures implemented in Paris to tackle the city's estimated 6 million rats. The capital in 2017 anti-rat plan funneled $1.8 million of funds into a range of anti-rodent policies, such as installing airtight trash bins and large-scale use of rat poisons in thousands of sites across the city. You got to learn to just live with them, guys. Don't you know? They're fine. It's not like they're not carrying diseases or anything. Just live with them. The rats have always been here. That's crazy. I don't know. I think they're trying to save that 1.8 billion or $8 million. What do you think? I think they might have allocated that money to something else, and now they're like, oh shit, well, just tell them they got to live with the rats. You know, didn't we see that garbage pickup didn't get picked up for like 6 weeks in and amidst the protesting of Macron? I'm sure that did not help the rat population one damn bit, right? I'm sure it exploded in that time. This is just crazy. Crazy world we live in. And it's getting crazier because now we have UFOs. Thank you for the artwork, Oz. I love it. I've always wanted to be an 8 to 10 foot tall gray. If you can't beat them, join them, as we always say. So I had to bring this little clip from Kim Iverson because everybody's still out there talking about aliens. Aliens are here. Did you see the aliens? Well, I brought you guys a crazy story. I want to say last Friday, right, where this shooting star comes flying across Vegas and then it crashes, and immediately these kids are calling and saying there's aliens in the backyard, right? And they had footage and the cops were there, and supposedly the men in black came around. Well, that family has gone dead silent. Nobody can contact them anymore. They're not answering any questions. Apparently, there's somebody saying that they were told by the government they're not allowed to answer questions anymore, and they apparently had to turn over all their footage. Now, I know the Sun has a YouTube channel, and he has put some of this stuff out there, and I think some of it's on this Kimmy clip, but I had to bring you the end of it because Kim hits a really good point home, and that is those in the know that our government has this technology. So all of this up in arms, could it just be over technology that's ours?
Where did these 10-foot tall aliens then disappear to? Other people would have seen them as they ran through neighborhoods trying to run for cover or figure it out, unless they got beamed up, by some other spacecraft up in the sky. Or where did their aircraft go if it crashed? Or did they just get back into it and they were like, whoops, wrong spot, and then they took back off into space? I don't know. There's a lot of holes in this. And maybe it was just humans in suits. And this sort of takes us back to David Grush and even Dr. Stephen Greer. Now, Dr. Stephen Greer, I've interviewed him on this show. He's the father of the disclosure movement, and he asserts that most of the UFO aircrafts that people are seeing are actually government aircraft, that these are very, very dark operations that are completely shadow government operations that even our own government bodies don't know anything about, that they're black ops sort of manufacturing and scientific research. And so he asserts that these are mostly military tests and that the military has gotten their hands on some of the technology from alien aircraft that did come to Earth and has crash landed or landed and they were somehow captured, and that the military has this sort of technology and that they've been testing it. And the reason why they're not allowing it to be public is because if the U.S. military makes public the technology, that it would completely change the world, that it would halt the way some large industries like the energy industry makes money. It's a very fascinating conversation. If you haven't checked it out on my channel yet, definitely watch it. It was a long-form interview with Dr. Stephen Greer. And actually, even today, just coincidentally, today was the day that Dr. Stephen Greer did a big press conference, a big national press conference in D.C. There's an entire disclosure event. It's about 3 hours long. It live streamed. You can actually go onto YouTube and watch that. And that is where a lot of the people in this disclosure event said many of the things that actually the whistleblower claims. So the whistleblower, David Grush, is saying a lot of the same things that Dr. Stephen Greer and many of his other whistleblowers are stating, which is that the government has access to these aircrafts. They're using them. They're testing them. They're gathering the science from them. And it's all happening in this shadowy government that we're not familiar with.
Do we have alien technology? Or are we faking it? Did we capture alien technology a long time ago and now we're trying to convince people that it is? I did listen to that 3-hour open disclosure from Greer this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had it playing in my ears. You guys know I'm working 24/7. I'm not even kidding. I have earbuds in my ear constantly, even when I'm sleeping. And yeah, what he was saying basically is those in the know are the black ops, the off the books, the black budgets, right? And that the president and our Congress doesn't know shit about this. And these hearings that are coming up, they're going to be a big fucking deal because apparently they're going to break Congress's brain with the information that they've been holding back from them. I don't know. Is it a distraction? I think it is a distraction. I tend to not believe anything that the government tells me any longer. I tend to think the exact opposite. Now, if you would have asked me in 2001, do I believe in UFOs? I would have said, yeah, I believe there's something more out there. Once you understand how big and infinite the universe is and how many fucking planets there are out there, there's got to be something else out there. But do I believe that we've made contact with it? Distraction. Yeah, distraction. Don't look at how crazy it is or that your food prices have doubled in the last year. Look, aliens. Don't look at the fact that Trump and Biden are both criminals. Look, aliens. So, yeah, they'll wait until, I don't know. I don't know when they're scheduling these hearings are, but I'm sure it'll be right around the time that they'll want to distract you seriously from something, be it Trump's trials or Biden's impeachment, or, it'll be something. And then they'll run this shit right alongside of it. Remember, like the whole January 6th committee thing? I think they'll do a whole show out of it. So I will be keeping an eye on that, whether you believe it or not. The truth is out there, right? So live from the trailer park. Let's see what this. Oh, is this Bakersfield? Look at this, guys. They're looting the train. Train robberies.
A lot of people stealing beer. Only in Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. Yeah, they're looting the trains as they come in to stop. That's crazy, but I expect it to get much worse. Prices are insane now. Insane. $5 a gallon gas where I'm at. All food has not, some places doubled or is 3/4 higher than it was even a year ago. And people are hurting across this country. You know what Cornell said? When I don't remember what interview it was. He said, when I win the presidency, I'm not going to move into the White House until every person in America has a house. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, he's over the Gilded Age. I love that too. What else did he say? Over the Gilded Age. He wants to move into the White House and tell everybody gets a house. Yeah, my notes are the same. I want to make sure somebody knows where they're taking this. I don't know if this will get me punked on YouTube or not, but it's funny. So RT wants you to know that you're being distracted, and they kind of did it in a humorous way. So this is a commercial for RT, but great CGI in it. Check it out.
No, that's bull. That's nonsense. We need some fresh ideas. Better, stronger, and effective. Oh, God, I'm so tired.
The International.
Aw, poor penguins can't watch RT anymore. All of us can't watch RT anymore. Oh, yes, you can. Go to RT.com and you'll see our friend Fiorel Isabel over there doing some great reporting along with a bunch of other good reporters. I thought that was smart. It was cute. It was funny. And for a commercial, yeah, the trolling level legendary, wasn't it? That is an awesome troll. Good job, RT. Great trolling. That will give us public count of 2024 elections until aliens show up. Yeah, exactly. So all of you Beatle fans out there, Katie Kirk's got some news for you. Guess what? This is pretty crazy. The Beatles will be releasing new music thanks to AI. So the Beatles will be releasing a new song. I don't think it's a full album. I think it's one song that Yoko Ono gave Paul McCartney that Lennon wrote, I think after he left the Beatles. Maybe they worked on it a little bit together, but it's called Now and Then. And they were going to release it, I think, in the 90s, but they just couldn't rework it to where it actually was good. But now they can because they can clone voice. So yeah, help. I need somebody. You're getting a new Beatles song, guys. Oh, this one I got from Fred Edwards. Hey, Fred, you hanging out? Oh, there's Fred. Fred, I see you. Thank you for always sharing out. Isn't this some shit? So yeah, remember I told you about the appeal science that Gates put out there, Gates's company, and it's this like waxy coating that's supposed to go over fruits and vegetables, and it's supposed to make its technology is supposed to make it last for years. Well, yeah, a lemon. I can't even say that word. I'm not even going to try to say that word. Yeah, all the lemons I heard of in Washington State are going to have this. But I also heard that the Seattle area passed an ordinance saying they can use it. So yeah, more and more places are starting to allow this, and you're really going to have to be vigilant about your fruits and vegetables and make sure that they don't have this shitty fucking poisoning around them. We've talked about this a lot. I know Amber's covered it over on Brave New Future. And you think that all of the fruit and veggies industry isn't going to jump on this? If they can take the shelf life from 6 months to 2 years, hell yeah, they will. Hell yeah, they will. So check your fruit. Make sure it's not covered in that crazy crap. It's like a waxy, plasticky. I don't even. Why would you want something like that? This is a local report from Seattle, downtown Seattle. This is very sad. And I brought this just because it used to be safe to go into our big city. You know, I grew up with Seattle as my big city, and I would catch a ferry at 15 years old and ride over to Seattle, go downtown to go shopping, go up to the mall, you know, go see a movie, go to a show, whatever it was. It was safe enough for a 15-year-old girl to be walking around downtown Seattle by herself. It is not safe any longer. And I've been telling you guys this for years now, but this is tragic. A pregnant woman was shot on 4th Avenue, downtown Seattle today, and has died. Her unborn child also died. And so this is the mayor of Seattle.
Before I talk about what is really exciting, hard work that you've all committed yourself to, I do want to recognize that within the last several hours, we suffered a tragedy on the streets of downtown Seattle. You'll read more about it tonight or tomorrow. It involved a shooting and a very fortunate situation. We don't know what motivated it. We do have the suspect. We do believe at this point, I think a life was lost, and it's very sad. And I don't generally try to start off a great event with that kind of sad news, excuse me, but I think it's important to ground this celebration into what's happening in our city, that they are relying on us. They're relying on us for hope to deal with these complex issues of recklessness and violence, housing insecurity, and we have to be rooted in love and compassion. And I want to recognize we have some elected leaders here. I see Councilmember Morales here. I think I saw Councilmember Dan Strauss here. Councilmember Mosqueda will speak after. Am I missing any of your colleagues? I don't know. But if I'm not, I want to commend all of you for being in this fight with me. Thank you very much.
so gross. It's so gross. He is the replacement to Ginny Durkin, who was the terrible Seattle mayor who drove Seattle straight into the ground, but not before the one before that, who was the Dem. He was the one that got caught. He had sexual allegations against him. I can't remember. Anyways, these are dim heads that they put in. You know, it's always a Democrat. Oh, we got to lead with compassion. And then the council members that he calls out, they have no compassion at all. I don't care if you're at your local level, your county level, your next big city level, your state level, the DNC level. They're all corrupt, guys. You wouldn't think they are, but they goddamn are. They all have their own different reasons, but they're all corrupt. They're all rotten. They're all there to keep themselves in power, to keep themselves into the positions that they're in. And nothing gets done for the working class ever, 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 never. Oh, yeah, go. Oh, did you see that? Cancel. What is it? Defund PBS. Defund PBS is trending or was trending this morning. Yeah, they're mad at them because all they do is talk crap about Trump. That's what I've been telling you for years. NPR and PBS, they're nothing but Democrat ran shitholes that do not tell you any truth, which is sad because I grew up listening to NPR and, you know, PBS used to be publicly funded. It is not publicly funded now. It hasn't been for a long, long time. Okay, guys, we got to talk about chemtrails. We're always talking about chemtrails. You can't do a show without talking about chemtrails, but yeah, they've got even more stuff to do.
Some people in the tech world are doing more than praying for rain. They're trying to make it happen. I spoke with one Austin-based company that says they found a solution.
We have a real imbalance of where the water is falling. It's falling in areas that already have enough water. We need it to redistribute to the areas that need water most. What we do is basically produce a ion plume that goes up into the atmosphere, attaches to the cloud nuclei, and enhances rain.
And it's not like cloud seeding with silver iodide we've seen in the past. These towers release energy into the sky.
It's basically turbocharging the water cycle,
causing clouds to release their rain.
It's a proven technology that's been used almost 10 years out in Australia and in the Middle East.
Now they're bringing this tech to the U.S.
Our country has got droughts, in particular here in Texas, west of the I-35 corridor.
The problem with any sort of weather modification is it's very difficult to identify the efficacy of such a system.
The Evniogi with UT Austin's geology department says weather modification is still only a theory, but if it does work,
it might have unintended consequences.
Our atmospheric scientists have been very clear telling us that the water cycle is continuously churning, so there's really no impact.
Meaning that by making it rain at Lake Travis, it doesn't mean it will rob rain from somewhere else.
It will allow us to enhance rainfall anywhere between 10 and 20%.
Already have water wars coming because of river water. What if tomorrow we are going to create cloud wars, that you took my cloud or you took my rain?
No, you're not okay with that. Yeah, you took my rain. That's what it's coming down to. But you're a conspiracy theorist if you think that they're messing with the weather at all. They can't do that. You're insane to think that they can. I don't care if they tell you. I don't care if they testified before Congress. You're crazy in the brain to think that they are changing our weather at all, or that they even can change our weather at all. Red Angel, the North Korean defector, right? Nomi Park. Her name is Nomi Park. And no, I don't think that she's a neo-lib. She's a neo-con. I see her hang out on a lot of the conservative podcasts. I like her, though. I like what she has to say. I like, you know, she's done an amazing job. She escaped, and look at the life she has. She's beautiful. And I will keep an eye on her presidency. I know she doesn't have a chance, but nobody has a chance in a slanted system, right? So, but I will keep an eye on it. Yeah, I think she's a neocon if I remember right. But she's running as a libertarian, but I think she falls more towards the neocon side, right? So you guys know El Nino has begun, and this is what it means for America. Yeah, we're going to see some pretty powerful storms. Orion Hall, y'all. That's who you need to be following for weather if you're out there. Yeah, he breaks it down. If you guys are anywhere in the, Ohio River Valley, if you're down south, because of the way that the atmospheric river is, and how it's changed because of El Nino. You guys are going to get a hell of a lot of crazy storms this year. And we're just going to get it droughted out here in the Northwest. So sadly, we're looking at drought, even though it's been kind of crappy the last 2 days, but our water levels are record low right now. I can tell you that. So yeah, bad weather. Okay, this is our gardening section, and I have to read this story to you guys. It's hard for me to see, but it's a great story, so I will muscle through it for you guys. It says, "Hi, I'm an arborist. This means I'm a professional in cultivation, management, and the study of trees. I love trees. I think that some of them are the most beautiful, majestic, ancient living beings on this planet. I fucking agree. I love trees too. Today, I am here to tell you a story of death, new life, and revenge. 3 years ago today, the City Council of Redondo Beach, California, ordered the death of my 30-year-old pepper tree. Its roots had begun to penetrate the pavement in front of my house. The city noticed and issued the death warrant of my tree. They furthermore made no pay for the damages. Furthermore, they made me pay for the damages to the sidewalk and for the tree removal. I loved Clyde. I'm beginning to get older, and planting something I knew would live well beyond my lifetime was something very special. I took very good care of him. I drained his soil. I gave him a crutch to lean on when he was young lad. I watched him grow. Just as Clyde was becoming a strong, healthy individual, expanding his root system, developing a canopy, and making his own way in life, the mayor took it upon himself to uproot my beautiful child. Mayor Steve Aspel, you killed my child. For this, you will pay. 2 years and 7 months ago, I secretly planted 45 California redwoods and 82 giant sequoias in various parks, yards, and state properties around the city. Today, each of those root systems will be at least 30 feet in diameter and deeply embedded in the soil. You may have noticed the trees growing in your front of the city council, or that new one that sprouted in your backyard. That's a giant sequoia, and its growth will begin accelerating rapidly in the coming months. You killed Clyde, but I have replaced him with over 100 living giants, and giants they will become. In a few years, they will begin breaking heights of 100 to 300 feet and live well beyond 2,500 years. That's way long ago. That's way longer ago than Jesus was born. To remove even one of those at this point would cost well over $1,500, and I'm stiffing you with that bill, just like you did to me 3 years ago today. Good day to you, sir. May your city be run by trees, and may Clyde rest in peace. Come on, guys. That was pretty funny. If you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it, right? A little tree revenge. I love that he named the tree. I love tree, obviously, right? So, and I brought you a little gardening meme, and your ancestors' lawn, your lawn, and your descendants' lawn. That's about true. And these are the planting bandits. They go out and they just plant random trees, kind of like that story I just read you. And I think that's magnificent. If you're going to be a rebel, do it that way. My plants are looking great. How's your guys' gardens out there? It sounds like a true anarchist. I love that. That was great. That's how you do it. And gardening is cheaper than therapy until your spouse adds up the receipts. Empress of dirt. Yeah, that is the truth. Oh my God. It's a good thing I don't have money or a lot of space, because yeah, I would go crazy gardening for sure. I think we're close to the end here, guys. I'm not planning on making these shows 2 hours each morning just because of the amount of content. I'm bringing you guys 10 hours of content a week now. That's a lot. That's a lot of slides. That's like 400 slides I'm building every week, but I love doing it. And I hope you guys enjoy just the little kind of clip bites and the fact that I don't go too deep, but I at least bring you the story, and that way you can go look into it, if you're interested. So let's see, tomorrow, Pasta and I will be hanging out for Trailer Park Pundit Thursdays. Now, this used to be To Hell and Back on Thursdays, right? Pasta and I have always done To Hell and Back on Thursdays for I don't know, 3 years now, 2.5 years. But we've decided we're just going to call it Trailer Park Pundit because we want to keep To Hell and Back to be standalone to deal with addiction and big pharma, and, you know, people who have really suffered and gone to hell and back because of, you know, fighting addictions or big pharma, whatnot. So we're just going to call Thursday Trailer Park Pundit with special guest host Craig Pasta Jardula. So join me tomorrow morning at the same bat time on the same bat channel, and you'll get to hang out with Pasta. And then on Fridays, of course, I will have Uncensored. You can join me every Friday on Rokfin and Rumble only. And I've already got a bunch of stories that have been filtered through that couldn't make it onto any of the other ducks that I've saved for Friday. So we're definitely going to talk about COVID on Friday. And then we've got Beauty and the Boomer already in the works for Saturday. Poor Oz. His music choice got poo-pooed. Who knew the Eagles would actually hit you with a copyright? Like, even if you do a cover of an Eagles song on YouTube, they're going to hit you with a copyright. Like, even if you sang it, like, screw the Eagles. I know a lot of bad things about the Eagles anyway, so screw them. So, well, Oz will find something good to replace it with, I'm sure. Good morning, Oz, if you're out there in the land of Oz. So, yeah, join us for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday. Of course, I got to show you all my different cards. There's all my cards. Okay. I want to shout my chat out before I get out of here. Gamer made it in. Hey, Gamer. Hi, Julie. Cadillac Centaur, Ghost Start, Midnight Karma. Let's see, Rad Angel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I know I'm missing a bunch. Sorry, guys. Whoever I missed. 4737 Carlin. Glad to see you came back. Yeah, I really got to get a new pair of glasses for sure. Kim, thank you so much for joining. DC came in. Hi, DC. Oh, and I hate that I can't say your name, but thank you for joining me. Terrible about it. I can't see it and I can't pronounce it. Okay, let's see. Now, which one did I turn on? How do I shut that off? Well, we'll just do this and then I'll shut that one off. There we go. Oh, it didn't go away. There we go. Okay, and I want to shout the Rokfin out real fast. It's starting to get warm in here this morning. Jim, good morning. Thank you. Fred Edwards, you're great for sharing us out always. Gregory Walker, so glad you joined us. Kate, good morning to you. I know you're not here now, but I know you'll be listening later. Arim's in the house. Is she running for president? I'm assuming we're talking about Yomiki, or is that how you say it? Yomi? It's Yomi. Sharon Williams. Oh, Sharon, I saw you sent me an email. I will get to it this morning. It's been a busy week. Popeye's in the house. So thank you so much for joining me, and everybody who's over on the Rumble. Dingo ate me babies hanging out over there with JF Breen. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, guys, I am out of here, but I got a great closer for you. Oh, well, first we have to do this. Please call the DOJ switchboard and leave a message demanding they drop all charges and do not extradite Julian Assange. This is this whole week they're doing swamp the DOJ phone board. So there's the numbers. Screenshot it. It only takes 2 seconds. Call them up. Be a pain in their ass, but don't be rude. That's what we always say when calling elected officials. Don't be rude, but be a pain in the ass for sure. Okay, guys, so we're going out with a little sitting on the dock of the bay. I figured it's Wednesday. We needed a little relaxation. So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow morning along with Craig Pasta Jardula, and we'll have a good show. You guys have a great day, and thanks for joining me.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, yeah. Then I'll watch them roll away again. So I'm gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sit Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones. This loneliness won't leave me alone. It's 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. So I'm gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sit on the dock of the bay, wasting time.